Hey everyone, Lauren here. Today I'm going to show you how to construct your paper ornaments. And specifically, we're going to be working on this one here. To get started, you'll grab your paper shapes. You'll see that they have a score line there in the middle. You'll want that to be facing up for this step. You'll start by folding all of them. To do that, carefully push towards that line there. And then gently crease the entire shape. And you'll just repeat that with all of these. And they should look something like this. So at this stage, we're ready to start gluing them together. And so I have a hot glue gun here plugged in. Be sure to have some extra hot glue on hand. This does tend to take up a lot, especially with the biggest shape, this one. Okay, so to get started, you'll grab one of them. And I like to do it where the spine is on the right. You can do it where it's on the left, whichever you feel more comfortable with. And you're gonna begin by adding some glue around the perimeter of the shape. And you wanna make sure that you're leaving a border, about an inch or so, maybe a little more border on the edge. This is so the hot glue doesn't leak out of the sides and then create craft issues. So you'll grab your next piece and then line up that big section first, and then you can kind of fold and shift it into place. The glue does take a second, so you do have some time when they're stuck together to shift them around a little bit. You want to make sure that all edges are perfectly lined up. You want to make sure this top is looking nice and even. Same with the bottom, and then obviously this edge too. You want that to be nice and even. And then you'll repeat that with all of them. Another important step with some of your ornaments is to embellish them with some glitter. And so to do that, you'll have your already glued together pieces that make an ornament, some Elmer's glue, and a bin of glitter. You'll take the Elmer's glue and apply it to the edge. So you'll want to press down on this so that all the pieces are firmly pressed together. And then add glue to the whole edge. And then you'll just take it while squeezing the whole thing together and roll it in your glitter. And then you can open that up, take off any glue chunks. And then this will be ready for the next step, which is ribbon. At this point, we're ready to open it up and add some ribbon. So for this process, you will have 2 lengths of ribbon. One is 8 feet. That'll be to thread the ornaments onto. And then you'll have this little shorty, it's 13 inches or so. This will be what we add bows with. And not every ornament needs a bow, but we're gonna go ahead and add one to this one. So to get started, you'll take the end of your ribbon and we're going to do a triple knot. And this is more for looks than anything because this does get glued into the ornament. But this will give the illusion that this is what's holding them on. So there's our first. I'll add the next one. Just kind of have to shift it around to make sure that it lines up with the last. And then one more time. look something like this. You can come back and trim this later. You might want some of them to be a little bit longer. Okay, so then next, we're going to add a little bit of glue here down the center of the spine. Don't need to go crazy with glue, just a little line. And then you'll want to take that knot, line it up with the base, and go ahead and press that down. And then you can take the rest of the ribbon, run it up the length of the spine, and then press that into place. This is pulled up a little bit, so go ahead and shift that back down. And then what we'll do is we'll open it up and it'll get glued to itself. So similar to what we were doing before, you want to add glue around the perimeter of one of these, leaving that edge, and then a little bit in the center. And then you can open it up. So this is the stage where if these weren't all lined up, this may be up higher, maybe lower. It's just easiest to do this when they're nice and even at the top. So you'll start to press them together. And then in order to get in here, you're going to need to open up these other layers and then press all of them together. That'll make sure that you're getting glue all the way in the spine. And then even pressure, like before. Make sure that all of that glue is being pressed down. And then you have your ornament on ribbon. So then the next stage here would either be to add your bead in your bow and it's done, or if we're making one of these stacked ones like this one, our next steps will be adding some more beads and then a second ornament before we add our bead and bow at the top. Okay, so then we do have two different size beads here. There's this one, and then there's also this one. These you're gonna use every once in a while, but these, every top of an ornament will have one. So the big one comes first in this scenario. That one actually is kind of easy. The hole is big enough that you can fold your ribbon and go ahead and just thread that through. Now that I said it, I'm gonna have a hard time. Here we go. Okay, so that can go all the way on, right to the top of the ornament. It's gonna fall right now, but okay, and then for this other one, because this is small, what I'm gonna do here is take a paper clip and I'm going to open it up. See, opening, this can be like your little handle here, and then you're gonna re-bend the end of it into a small hook, small enough to squeeze through the hole of that bead. That should be about good. And then you're going to feed that through. And then feed the ribbon onto the paper clip, carefully. And then just pull some tension on there. And then you'll just pull the whole thing through the bead. Voila. Okay, that can go on. Okay, so then you'll see this is looking like this ornament here. Then our next step would be to add the second ornament. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that up and just go ahead and glue that right here onto the ribbon. Make sure that your beads are pressed against your last ornament so that there's not any awkward space in here. And then you'll do the same thing, add glue around the perimeter, a little bit in the center. And we can add a little here to the edge so that the ribbon gets glued in. And then you'll just press against these last beads, open that up and glue it. You could put a little bit of downward pressure here too, just to make sure that this is all snug in here. Okay, at this point, we can add our last bead at the top. And then we will hang it up to add the bow. It's just a little bit easier. So with this project, we're going to be providing you with this same image. This is really just something that you can go off of, but really just have fun here. These are a lot like assembling jewelry, so you can kind of have fun with the combinations of ornaments, combinations of beads. Just have fun with it. All right, and then you'll finish off your ornaments with a bow. So you'll take that small length of ribbon, go ahead and tie a bow on top. Okay, and then you just adjust so that it looks nice and cute.